Hello. So lately I've been thinking a lot about things that we get from our parents. And I know Karl Marx, but I don't think all of it's fair. Like, I know, all posh people do get the same face of a horse. But they do also get a horse. Whereas I feel like all I got was eyes so dry that for the past 2 weeks they've had to have their own little lube. And chronic back pain from decades of intergenerational trauma. And I'm just not sure that's fair. It is okay, guys. I have seen Succession. I do know posh people have intergenerational trauma too. But growing up, I think my dad was always a little bit gutted that I didn't inherit his love of the great game, football, because for him, if I have to be a lesbian, I should have the decency to be one of the sporty ones. But I just never got it. Every week I'd sit there and watch as he shouted at the TV, calling instructions at the ref, who absolutely could not hear him, by the way. And the closest I ever came to acting like that was watching Grand Designs. And rooting for bankruptcy and divorce. So you can only imagine my shock last summer when I discovered that the thing that was preventing me from acting like my dad when the football was on wasn't actually my inherent moral superiority. It was the gender of the players. Did anyone watch the Women's World Cup? Or as I like to call it, the World Cup. And that's feminism. I cried when the Lionesses lost. I'm not proud of that for a whole host of reasons, but the top one being my family history is majority Irish and a little bit Yemeni. So I was sat there cheering on our colonisers. I could feel my ancestors turning in their graves every time I sat there shouting, England, dressed up like I was on my way to an EDL rally. So I'm kind of glad they lost, because I'm not too sure how far that would have gone. I think if they'd won, I'd have been down there protecting that cenotaph, shouting, where's your fucking poppy? You can chart that up to jokes written before the last week. In case anyone was wondering. Anyway, I've always been a big fan of women's participation in elite sport. It's actually how I came out to my mum. Me and my mum have quite a good relationship, but she has the kind of general level of attentiveness that led to me getting Harry Potter ones every year for Christmas until I turned 24. So by women's participation in elite sports, I do of course mean I watched the women on Strictly a little bit too intently from an early age. So to set the scene, what happened was I was back from my first term at uni and sat watching Strictly with my mother. And Gemma off of Hollyoaks had just done a rumba that I found particularly sensual. My eyes glued to the screen. The penny drops. The conversation goes something like this. Sam? Yes? Do you ever think you could, get jiggly with a woman? Panic sets in, a term full of my best attempts to get jiggly flash before my very eyes. Yeah, Mum. I think I could get jiggly with a woman. Like Paxman got a follow-up ready. But not with a man. Unusually perceptive. No, Mum, not with a man. And then my mother, Mum to 3, loving wife of my father of over 30 years, says something that will stick with me until my dying day. She said, yeah, I suppose we all feel like that. So yeah, like I say, isn't it funny what we get from our parents?